Hi, and welcome to VR for Work. My name's Rick, and I'm your host here at VR for Work. And today we're going to start a series of short, quick tips on the utilization of a productivity program. I think the premier productivity program available today for VR called Immersed. Immersed is available on the Oculus Quest platform. You can get that today on your Quest, and it brings your PC or your Mac or your Linux device into your head-mounted display and gives you the capability to work within there, manipulate it, create up to 5 virtual monitors, and be very, very productive within your head-mounted display. You can see my overview of Immersed on the VR for Work YouTube page. I hope you'll check it out. But today we're going to look at a very specific topic, and like I said, there'll be a series of these to help you get the most out of Immersed. So what we're going to do is do a Immersed quick tip. Let's switch to the desktop. And today we're going to talk about how you can use, or how you do use, your controllers within Immersed on the Microsoft Windows system. Again, Immersed will bridge over to Mac and to Linux. I'm a Windows user, have been a Windows user for all my career. So today we're going to focus on using your controllers in Immersed on a Microsoft Windows system. So let's lean in and take a quick look. I'm actually going to get back out of the way at the controllers available to you on the Oculus Quest and how you can use them in Immersed. First, you have your trigger. Now, the trigger in Immersed is used with the screen manipulation handles, and we're going to show a demo video in a minute and walk through each and every one of these, but I wanted to kind of explain each one before we get to the demo. So the screen manipulation handles exist in Immersed around the window and help you size and move and otherwise manipulate the windows that you get to work within in the application. The trigger also serves as a single left click in the Windows environment, so primarily moving your cursor around. Also, typing on the virtual keyboard is accomplished with the trigger. It's kind of one finger pecking, if you will, pulling the trigger for each character. And then when you have multiple windows open or you're moving applications across a variety of windows, a number of windows you might have open, the trigger serves as a long hold to grab the specific window you're working within and move it from one window or screen to the other. And then for Windows cursor placement that I had mentioned before, you then have the grip button, right, for grabbing and moving screens. So I can point my laser pointer that kind of extends from the controller or my hand in the virtual reality environment, pull my grip button, grip that window, and then manipulate it around in my space. You then have the B or Y buttons, which are the top buttons. Your B button on the right side, your Y button on the left side, serves as a right click in Windows. And then the A or B X buttons, which are your lower button, your X button on the left, your A button on the right, long press on those also serves as a right click. Then you have your joysticks. Now, these move windows within depth. So as I might point at a window handle that Immersed gives you and pull with my trigger, I can then use my joystick to push the window forward and backward in my space. So it gives you that ability to move your window in depth. It also serves, if you do a short press on it, to pull up the Immersed control panel. And then a long press to move your seat around in the varied environments. So you might start in one seat in the coffee shop in Immersed and want to move over to another window or join another group. in one of the little group areas within the coffee shop, or in the case of the cave of productivity, you might want to move to the other side of the waterfall. The left menu button on the Oculus left controller will pull up the immersed control panel. Just like pressing in on the joystick, you will get the immersed control panel. And then the right menu button, obviously the quick short press will take you to the Oculus Home. A quick double press now in version 19 of Oculus will elicit the voice command option. And at first this didn't occur to me, but at least for me, there are a number of nice features where I can tell Oculus to either take a picture or start recording or stop recording, all with my voice. And those of you who may frequent the channel know I'm all about voice commands within VR. So let's jump into the demo. And the first thing I wanted to call your attention to is when you go into Immersed, I'm here in the spaceship environment. I've got a couple of screens open in front of me, but I'm holding up my controllers, and you get a good graphical representation here. You can clearly see the grip buttons, the Oculus menu buttons. Here as I flip over, you will see the B and A buttons over here on the right, the Y and X, the joysticks. So they're all very visible to you during your session within Immersed. And so as I am moving, I'm here pointing using the laser pointer, and I'm using my grip button, and I can grab that window and kind of move that window in space all around me. Okay, and then you can see now up here in the corners, these are the window manipulation controls that are around each of the windows that you're given in Immersed. Again, now I can point the trigger and point and pull the trigger, and then that particular control becomes active, and I can bend the screen, I can size the screen diagonally, I can move it around in space. Okay, again, grip and hold and move around. All right. And you know, when you have 3, 4, up to 5 virtual windows, you'll find you're adjusting them quite regularly. Okay, again, just a real quick view. And now as I point, now one of 2 ways that I can pull up this particular right-click command in my Windows button, as I had mentioned, if I press the B button on my right controller, or my X button on my left controller, I will be able to pull up the right-click command on my window. And then also, and you'll use this frequently in Immersed, down in the Immersed icon running in the task tray, as I right-click on it, that's how you get to your settings and to opening up additional windows. That will be another quick tip we'll have coming your way very soon. All right, and then in this particular case, I'm going to point at the Immersed client running on my Windows desktop here, and you can see my cursor there up at the top title bar on the application, and I'm going to press and hold the trigger, and you'll see this circle start to draw itself on the screen. And when that circle completes, I can then kind of move that around. So I've completed a left click and hold, essentially, and I can move it from one window to another window and all around my screen. Okay, so again, that was you can see that circle drawing on the screen, and this is a left click now using the Y button. So if I press and hold that Y button, it essentially does what the X button will do with a quick, or what the B button will do with a quick press. Now again, I'm using the grip button, kind of manipulating the screen in space. Again, manipulating the screens and then pulling the trigger and I'm grabbing the control at the top of the screen. Now, let's pause here a second. What I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to depress my right joystick, right? Pressing it down into the controller. And what you'll see are these little diamonds showing up on the screen. And each of these diamonds, as I point at them, will have a translucent cone that appears, this highlighted area, to show me that if I release my joystick while I'm pointing at that particular space, that's where I will transport. And I believe I do pick one of these, and yep, transport. You can see I'm no longer sitting kind of in the captain's chair. I'm over here on the deck, and kind of shows you that you could keep, I believe, up to maybe even 7 or 8 positions that you might want to in the Starship. Now, I do want to call out that this command, this particular command, let me go back here a second and pause here. Where is that? There we go. This particular command works in all the areas, all the environments that you'll visit in Immersed. So whether you're in the Cave of Productivity, whether you're in Immersed Central, whether you're in the coffee shop, whether you're on the space station, whether you're in the Sky platform, you're able to change your location by depressing that joystick, pointing at one of these indicators and at the highlighted area, and that's where you'll sit when you release the joystick. Okay, I think we've about gone through all commands. So let's move on and look at these again one more time. Let me shift back out of the way. Make sure that you have a good view of the screen. Again, trigger. A lot of the screen manipulation, keyboard typing, grabbing of windows. Grip, again, grabbing and moving screens around, monitors. A or B, right click. A or X, long press right click. Joysticks, moving windows in depth, but also bringing up the control panel and moving within the environments. Left menu button brings up the immersed control panel. Right menu button, short press Oculus Home, and then quick double press Oculus Voice. Okay, that's it. Again, quick tip, not going to keep you long. Just going to finish up with a quote for you. Every day that I procrastinate, every day that I sit stagnant in fear, every day that I fail to better myself, someone else out there with the same goals and dreams as me is doing the exact opposite. Here's to you achieving your goals and dreams, and I'm hoping that VR for Work can be a part of that. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode.